This is Pop Culture Yearbook. On this show, we pick pieces of pop culture that were important to us in a given year. We then discuss our memories and dig into those movies, albums, shows, and more. I'm Brad.
Where's Pete? And I'm Giff.
He switched it up. I like that. Where
Thank
is
you.
Pete? It's kind of like Carmen Sandiego.
Yeah, where
It's
in
just-
the world?
You
And
never
he
know.
is because he's a traveling man. So
That's part of it. It is a
Yeah.
worldwide thing. I mean, it's not that far, but
No.
it's still,
But he's
still
traveling. Absolutely.
All right, well, yeah, we're still sans Pete here, but we're chugging away.
Yes, sir.
And what are we going to do right now, Gifford?
We are going to open the yearbook, not to
Nailed
a
it.
particular year, but we're going to open to another special segment, special insert here for the month of November.
We like those special inserts, don't we?
Yes.
So we haven't really done anything we've been on this show now. This is our fifth season.
This season.
This is our fifth year, right? So we haven't ever done anything with Thanksgiving to speak of. And
Nope.
so we're going to make up for that big time. We're going for a month of thanks right now.
Mm-hmm. And you'll thank us later.
Yeah, a month of thanks. And so we're gonna talk about some music tonight that feature thank yous and gratitude. And then we got more coming after that. We'll probably tell you at the end. So stick around.
Mhm.
But we figured we should start with we love our memories here, right? Isn't that what we do?
Yep.
We're all
Yep.
about nostalgia. So
Sure.
we're going to talk about our memories of Thanksgiving past first.
Yeah.
So I have quite a few because I love this holiday. I'll just start by saying, and then we'll go kind of back and forth maybe, but
Sure.
this is my favorite holiday day. So when it comes to the season, Christmas obviously can't be topped. We all love Christmas here. We've made that clear over the years. But the Christmas day is not even that big of a deal, really. Like Christmas Eve was always a much bigger deal to me than Christmas
As a
Day.
kid.
But Thanksgiving Day has always been and currently is one of my favorite days of the whole year. So I love it, and I have lots of memories. And so, but I love also the whole weekend too. So there is a season, kind of, it's shorter, but you got the whole weekend. I consider the whole thing part of Thanksgiving. So I'll tell you some of my memories, but I'm going to let Gift go first.
Well, yeah, good to let me go first. We'll go back and forth and then back because I don't have a ton as usual. Thanksgiving was always, obviously as a kid growing up, it was great because you got off of school. So we can just start
part
with
of it.
that. That was a big deal. I didn't have to travel for Thanksgiving. Both of my grandparents lived very close. I mean, we're talking the longer trip was 15 minutes. Let's just put it that way. So Grandma Gifford or Grandma Eiserminger would hold Thanksgiving for the most part when I was younger. So short little drive over there, which was awesome. Getting together with cousins. We got 6 kids on both sides for my parents. So lots of uncles and aunts, lots of cousins. So that was always fun. And both of my grandparents could cook. This is my favorite meal of the year.
Too.
Thanksgiving. And of course, as I get older and a little longer in the belt line, I appreciate it even more. I love the leftovers afterwards the next day.
Oh my God. We're going to talk
awesome.
about that in 2 weeks.
Yes, we certainly are. So, seeing family was always a big deal. And it was a lot of fun. We just celebrated Thanksgiving and Christmas with my side of the family this past weekend, which would be, towards the end of October, because my parents leave early for Arizona. So I feel like I'm already in the Christmas and Thanksgiving season. It's weird to me that Halloween, when this comes out, Halloween just ended, but Halloween's still ahead of us in real time. But one of the things that we did do besides get together for the holiday was then, as Brad said, we got the weekend. So normally that Friday after Thanksgiving, me and my brother and my dad would go get the Christmas tree.
Oh, yes, we've done that too.
And I was that little jerk kid who always insisted on, I need a real tree, Mom. We can't have a fake tree. Of course, when we were growing up, the fake trees were awful. Like, they're not as good as what they
were
are
quite
now.
different.
Yeah. So, I mean, having the real
Charlie Brown aluminum, but
Yes.
but not a lot better.
But they were pretty rough. So we would go to the Shopco parking lot generally in Marshall, and we would pick up our Christmas tree and then bring it home. And I would string out the lights on the across the dining room and living room, make sure they weren't all tangled. Bit of a knot here. You get started on that.
Little knot here.
And of course, you had to check every bulb because on those, if one light was out, the whole string was out. So do all that. So we would kind of start decorating the house for Christmas the day after. So when I was talking to Mom this last weekend, she did say we did go to my aunt's in Lakeville 1 year because she wanted to experience Black Friday shopping.
Ah.
And she said once and only once, she's never doing it again. She hated it. But yeah, that was one time we did travel. And then as I got older, my mom started hosting Thanksgiving quite a bit. And then my Aunt Joan, who's close by, would host it, as our grandmothers got older and it was harder for them to host everything. So, usually pretty close, stayed close to home for Thanksgiving, which was nice. In later years, as you talk about the weekend, coming home from college, that Wednesday before Thanksgiving was huge.
They call that Friendsgiving.
Friendsgiving, yes. Yep. So like come home and say hi to mom and dad, drop your laundry off, of course, and then head into Tyler and try to get together with the guys that have just gotten back from their respective colleges. Was always just such a fun time. So those are my memories. I'm going to hand it back over to Brad and let us know what you got.
You did a damn fine job. You hit on a lot of things actually that I had down too. So, my number one thing is just family, and so we did travel like some of the times. So I remember most Thanksgivings, and we must have had it with my mom's side too, which would have been at home or at Sioux Falls. But I remember either having it on our farm and having all my relatives coming over, and they come from like Iowa and they come from Missouri. And you got your farm, and you got all the cars parked outside. It's so cool. Or we would go to Des Moines, where I had two aunts and uncles that lived in Des Moines, and my one aunt and uncle had just the coolest house. It was like my dream house, and it was just the greatest thrill every time to go there. So those were the things that I can still picture that. And then like you mentioned, the food, watching football, because back at that time, everybody really did sit around and watch a lot of the football games. I don't do that as much anymore. But we also played cards, and so as a kid, it was fun. You got to play cards with the adults, and the game that we played the most, and I don't know if it's just because kids were playing and it was easier to remember, but they played it a lot anyway. It's called Crap on Your Neighbor, which did you know that game? Which is basically Uno, but with real cards. And you would get 3 dimes, and so it was like Uno basically. And whoever went out, then you would add up points based on the cards you had left. And so whoever was the high point person left over would have to turn in a dime. And then once you're out of dimes, you still had your honor. But once you lost that, then you were out, and you played until only one person was left, and then that person got the pot. They got the the 30 dimes or whatever. $3.
Right. Yeah,
but as a kid, that was great. Oh my God, I want to win that money. So it was fun because it was a fun game, but it was just fun to be able to sit around the big table with all the adults and be included. And I always loved that. And that game was a lot of fun. I also remember a specific travel year where we didn't have it either at home or in Des Moines, but this was 1993, and my brother and my cousin were living in an apartment in St. Louis Park up here. And for some reason, we had Thanksgiving up here in their apartment. And so my aunt and uncle from Sioux Falls and my parents and, my sister, we were all there. And so we had it in this, it was a 3-bedroom apartment, but still, there's not like a big dining room or anything, but we had it there. And that was the same year that the Dolphins Cowboys game was on when they played in the snow.
Yep.
Which we'll probably talk about next week. But that was just such a fun day because it was kind of a different setting. We were really close together, which, I like that. And then this amazing game, this crazy football game was on.
Yeah.
But what made that weekend even better is that on Friday we were still there, but on Saturday, my parents were still there for the next day. I drove home with my grandparents on Saturday, and you're going to remember what I'm talking about now. And so it's just me at home that night. and I decided to have a party, like the first party I ever had. And it was an awesome party, and it was a lot of fun. And one of our friends got in trouble after that party. You made the
Oh,
basketball team because of that
I
party.
I reaped the benefits of that party.
Yeah.
That's right.
And so that was an extremely memorable, fun weekend there, and a little different than a lot of the others. But we were getting a little older too. I mean, come home and do something kind of dumb.
Yep.
But like you said, the weekend is great because as a kid, you get out of school. When I was in high school, it was fun because my siblings would come home, and you get excited Wednesday for them to come home. When I was in college, it was so exciting to finish your last class on Wednesday and get on the road and go home, and then go and
Mhm.
see, like, go to the Kronberg in Tyler and hopefully meet people there. Um, Actually, one of my favorite days of the whole year has always been Friday after Thanksgiving, and not because of Black Friday, because I've never done shopping.
No.
I just loved the day. I love that there's no school, and either what would happen is, so I would have time in high school maybe to hang out with friends. We maybe go bowling or something. There'd always be like Nebraska, Colorado would always play, and I love, Colorado was like my team besides the Gophers. But otherwise we'd be like you said, that's the day you decorate for Christmas and you turn the page. And I love
Yep.
decorating for Christmas. And so we would go some years and we would go buy a tree and we would go actually chop a tree down in a tree farm.
Mhm.
And then when you were saying that, it reminded me that when we first moved into our first townhouse in 2000, it was Thanksgiving weekend. And so that Friday after we had just moved in, my dad and I went out to Lakeville to a tree farm and bought our first tree, and we brought it back and put up a tree immediately. And that was, a memory I'd kind of forgotten about. So,
Yeah.
you had Friendsgiving Wednesday, you had Black Friday, you had all this fun weekend. You also have like college basketball starting. There was like holiday tournaments. Um, one year, Chris and I went to the Gophers Wisconsin game that weekend because it was for the Big Ten West Championship. That was way fun. But then my last thing, most of all, we have a new tradition now, basically, where we host Thanksgiving at our house, our new
Nice.
house up here. And like my wife and I, we still don't really cook. So my mom or my stepmom, or not my stepmom, my mother-in-law, what am I talking about?
Mother-in-law.
One of them would make the turkey and they'll bring it over. And like, everybody kind of brings something else. Like we do
Right.
make some of the food, but the turkey is not our thing. So somebody else brings that. But we have this great house, and it's way fun to have Thanksgiving here. And we always usually have like a ping pong tournament, and
Mhm.
and some years people stay like into the evening, and we either watch, like one year the Vikings played at night, and we watch that, or we watch like friends Thanksgivings or things like that. And it's one of my favorite days of the year again to host Thanksgiving, and like we all get together at our house, and it's kind of cool because now you're officially. I mean, I'm 49 years old, but it's like you're officially now. The
Yeah.
adult who can hold that. You can't cook yet, but you can do everything else.
You can't cook yet. Well, and that's the thing. Like this last weekend when we went back down Southwest Minnesota, where my brother hosts it, and like he smoked a turkey and a ham, and then my sister-in-law, her happy place is the kitchen, so the food she's putting out is absolutely phenomenal. I mean,
Mhm.
yeah, Courtney and I shouldn't say Courtney made the green bean casserole. We brought that along, so at least we're contributing something to this. But I mean, it's just awesome going in there and having all that food. And then, like you say, as a kid, you got to have Thursday off, and then you had Friday off, and it's like now you have the weekend.
Yeah.
So that 4 days was just huge as a kid, or even as a young adult in college. It was awesome just having that 4 days away from school and getting back home and seeing family and
Yeah.
some old friends.
I love the college years coming back.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, see, I love this Thanksgiving Day, and you came up with some great memories too. Even jogged a couple of mine that I hadn't even written down.
There you go.
All right. Well, we are going to kick off this month with our new insert open by listening to some thankful songs. So
Mhm.
I've created a playlist of songs that either have thank you or thanks in the title, or a couple of them maybe don't have it in the title, but they're clearly that's what it's about.
Right.
And I'll be honest, I mean, it was interesting to make this playlist. It was fun to create it because there's a few songs on here I had never heard before. Like, I didn't just
Yep.
pick songs that I know and like, but I picked a few songs that I've never heard before or maybe thought I didn't really like. And so we're going to listen to these and we're going to give our opinions on them and see if we are thankful for them or not, and how that goes. So we got 12 songs here ready to go.
Yeah.
All right. Well, the first one is called Gratitude. So I thought that was a good way to start because this one doesn't have thank you in the title, but it's like a gratitude playlist. And so let's start with the song that's called Gratitude. What a perfect way to start. And it's by Earth, Wind, and Fire. Yeah.
Yeah. Wanna thank you.
All right. That song I had never heard before.
No,
I love
me
it.
neither.
That song is so funky. It's got the funk. And it's awesome. So it was exciting to kind of discover that one. What surprised me the most, though, and you're probably not going to recognize this, but so, I love all the specials and everything. It sounds exactly like the music in the Charlie Brown Thanksgiving. Because, Charlie Brown's always got good music, kind of funky music. It sounds exactly like that music in there. And it's not, but it just made me think of it right away. And this song is from November 11th, 1975. I couldn't find any information on the song itself, but the album, which was called Gratitude, did reach number 1 and was number 10 overall for 1976. So it was a big deal. And I love it. I think it's like a party song. It sounds like a great song to kick off a playlist or to put on at a party. And so now I've discovered that, and I'm thankful for that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know the song per se before this, and it comes from a double live album, not a single, 12th track on the last side of the album. But yeah, I like the funk. I think it's a perfect way to kick off this playlist.
Oh, great. All right, so we're off to a good start. Now we're going to get into a few that they're all called Thank You. And so these are kind of listed together, and some of these are probably pretty well known. The first one is the first song I thought of when I was thinking of like what songs are going to be on this playlist. And that is Thank You by Dido.
Call me and it's not so bad. It's not so bad. I want to thank you for giving me the best day of my life.
So that one, to me, it's like a one-hit wonder. I mean, I know she had other stuff, but she is famous for it. But it's also famous for another round of it when Eminem used it in his song "Stan," which is what really even made it bigger. So this song goes back to 1999. It was in the movie Sliding Doors with Gwyneth Paltrow. It peaked at number 3, was number 8 overall for 2001. And it was written about a boyfriend that she had at the time, which is interesting because there's another song coming later that's kind of got a similar theme about a boyfriend that you're maybe not with anymore. And I also found this interesting. So, she was in the video with Eminem, and it was this huge song. But she actually ended up suing him for unpaid royalties in 2004. And so somewhere in there, either he didn't follow through, or I don't know if there was a riff or what, but she did sue him. And I didn't really find out exactly what happened, but I thought that was interesting because I figured they were just, buddy after that.
Yeah. Yeah, so again, this is her second single that she ever released off the debut album of No Angel, and it hit number 3, Hot 100, and it's the first and only top 10 hit for Dido. It did hit number 1 on the adult contempo.
Yeah.
So
do you like that song?
I do. When you said you were putting together a playlist, this and one other, which is on here, were the two that sprung to mind that I would think, oh yeah, okay, well I know that should be on the list. So yeah, it's after starting with a song that I didn't know, it was nice to follow up with one I did. So yeah, good song.
Yeah, I like it too. I think it's got a nice vibe to it, and I like her voice. So
yeah,
the next one is also called Thank You, and this is by a very, very famous band, and it's a song I had not heard before, but probably a lot of people have because it is by Led Zeppelin.
Kind of
like that part there where it kind of takes a change.
Mhm.
You go first, Gifford. What do you think of this song, or what do you know about it?
It wasn't really my jam. I didn't know really anything about it before this. First time I had heard it. As of our recording of this episode, this came out 56 years ago tomorrow, as of
Wow.
today's recording. So it's been out there a while. It's fourth track, not a single, off of Led Zeppelin 2. But yes, it was a pretty big deal at the time, but not something that I was all that familiar with, since it did come out 7 years, almost 7 years before I was born.
Yeah, I'm not really familiar with it either. I know a lot of Led Zeppelin songs, but this is kind of a more of a deep track, I guess.
Mhm.
I think it's a decent Led Zeppelin song. I like that part where it kind of it changes a little bit. It's a little slow though. It doesn't really stand out like some of the bigger ones or the ones that I know and do love.
Mhm.
Rick Rubin, who I think we've talked about once or twice before. I think we talked about him with you weren't on, but this Run DMC recently is where Rick Rubin came up.
Mhm.
He called the song otherworldly, and
Ooh,
Pitchfork magazine called it brilliant. So they liked it better
wow.
than we did.
Yeah, they were.
And it has made certain lists of the greatest Led Zeppelin songs, and of course also the greatest songs that give thanks.
Yes.
So, which
Yep.
there really aren't that many that I found. So I would hope it'd be on the list.
Right.
That's not
Of ones that
surprising.
are the best thank you songs ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, the next one is by a very famous artist from our time in the 90s, and this one's also called Thank You, but the U is a U, so there's a big difference
Mhm.
with this one. This is Alanis Morissette.
How about that ever-elusive could-have? Thank you, India. Thank you, terror. Thank you, disillusionment. Thank you, frailty. Thank you, consequence. Thank you, silence.
All right, I'm going to guess, was that one of the other songs that you knew and expected would be on here?
This was the other song that I expected to be on this list for sure.
Nailed it.
Yep.
So
Yeah,
what do you think of that one?
This one, I mean, I like it just because it takes me back to the college years. This was off her fourth album, but the rest of us around the world knew it as her second album after Jagged Little Pill. It was her second globally released album. So yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it. It was the first single from this album, hit 17 on the Hot 100. Of course, it hit number one in Canada, number 5 in UK, and it got a Grammy nom for Best Female Pop Vocal for in the at the 2000 Grammys. And I looked up what other songs it was up against and other people it was up against, and holy cow! Well, first off, Supernatural by Santana had a massive year that year. That was the big one with Smooth. Best New Artist, Christina Aguilera. But this was up against, the winner was I Will Remember You by Sarah McLachlan.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Along with Genie in a Bottle and Baby One More Time by Britney Spears and Beautiful Stranger by Madonna. But
That's quite a list.
yes, it's I mean, it's up against some heavy hitters, but yeah, I really enjoy this song. After the juggernaut that Jagged Little Pill was, it was nice that this was the first single off of the next album.
Yes. All right. So this is from 1998 in October,
Mhm.
and the album was Supposed Former Infatuation Junkie.
Mhm.
The other thing this song was famous for, I don't know if you watched it or remember, but this is the video where she's just nude in the street,
Yes,
and she has her hair hanging over her boobs, and then
important
it's just
parts.
blurred out in the groin down there.
Yeah,
Yeah, down there.
down
So,
there.
but that's it. She's just nude walking around, and so it always kind of fascinating, that what does that mean, and what was she going for? But it was you got your attention.
Yes, it did.
It's a response to a trip she took to India and a lot of self-reflection, which is kind of what it sounds like.
Mhm.
And I read, somebody one of the reviews of it kind of said it could have been really I'm forgetting the word now, but like what's the word where you try to sound really smart and everything, and
Oh God, you're asking
oh
me
my
to sound
god, you're the
smart.
vocabulary guy here.
I know, for Pete's
Then it
sake.
could have come off really oh, it's got a P, I can't think of it, but it didn't. Like they said,
Pretentious.
pretentious. Thank you. I
Yes.
knew you'd get it. That's why we're here together.
Star for
But
the
it
day.
but it didn't come off pretentious. Like it works. She towed the line just right.
Absolutely.
It reached
Yeah.
number 17 on the Hot 100 and much higher on many other charts. You might have already
Yep.
said those and I forgot already.
Yep.
Big song, good song, and a nice follow up to that. Like you said, you got a big giant, one of the biggest albums of the 90s. What are you going to do next? And it wasn't bad.
No, it wasn't.
All right, the next one is another one I had never heard, and this is one where I had to keep
What?
looking at the title, like what does this mean? I can't even read these words. But then when I
Yes.
listen to it, then when you hear them sing it, then you understand what they're doing there. So this is Thank You for Letting Me Be Myself Again by Sly and the Family Stone.
We began to wrestle. I was on the top. I want to thank you for letting me be myself again.
All right, bringing the funk back.
Yes.
So you know that one then, you're saying?
Oh, absolutely. So when I saw this one on there, I was like, well, of course this has got to be on the list.
I mean, maybe I've heard it, but I did not know it by name. And the whole, so the way they spell it,
Yep.
like "filletting me" is one word, so I had no idea what that was. And then it's B, mice, like mice, and elf, like elf, Will Ferrell, again,
Mhm.
without an A in there. And so I didn't get it. I didn't even know what they were doing, but then you hear it and it's just "for let me be myself again." So it's kind of a more modern way of what we do today where people spell things wrong on purpose. So this is more sweet funk. This one goes all the way back to 1969. It was a number one Hot 100 and soul song in 1970. And this song, apparently I should have known it. It is in the Grammy Hall of Fame.
Mhm.
The third verse references previous hits they had, like Dance to the Music and Everyday People, which is kind of a cool shout back. And go back a couple years to our Rhythm Nation 1814 Janet Jackson episode. She actually based the song Rhythm Nation off a sample of this song, which I never knew until we did this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is, yeah. I love how funky it is. Brad, I figured you would really appreciate this little fun fact. So Larry Graham is credited with introducing the slap technique on the bass bass guitar.
Sounds like something I could have done. Slapping that bass.
He's
Or,
slapping the
I love you,
bass.
man. Slapping the bass, man.
Yes, I saw that. I'm like, oh, Brad's got to know about this. It's all about I Love You, Man.
That's right. That's where the movie came from right there.
So I would like to say thank you, Larry Graham.
Larry Graham. All right. So you love that song. It's a great
I
song.
love it.
Anything else you have on that one there?
The only thing I will say about that one is it does get very repetitive,
Yes.
of course.
Yeah. I was looking at the time. It's not that long of a song, but it's not short either. But it is so repetitive that it feels like it does go on for quite a while.
Correct. Yep.
You know,
But
you get into
it's
that
great.
funk and you start dancing to that funk, and then after like 2 minutes, you're like, kind of lose some of that funk.
Yeah, a little bit. So,
all right. Well, if you've been listening to our show for 5 years and you were asking yourselves, when are these guys ever going to talk about Ariana Grande? Well, tonight's your night.
found it. You found it.
So this is probably the biggest song on the whole list, actually. Thank You Next by Ariana Grande.
One taught me love, one taught me patience, and one taught me pain. Now I'm so amazing to have loved and I've lost, but that's not what I see. So look what I got, look at what you taught me. Yeah, for that I say thank you. Next, thank you.
All right, so have you heard that song before, Gifford? I'm curious.
I had not. I stopped listening to new music somewhere around 2000. We were listening to this on the car ride home the other day, and Courtney knew this song.
Of course.
But I did not. But it's a fun one to dig into. And the video is awesome.
And I
pretty much anything with her in it, visually would be awesome.
I've heard of the song, I knew of, but I don't even know if I've ever actually heard the song either.
Mhm.
Like I hear of big hits and everything, but I don't always hear them because I don't listen to the radio either, really. But yeah, I gotta admit, I really like this song quite a bit.
Yeah, it's good. It's number one on the Hot 100. Came out November 3rd of 2018. Uh,
Stayed
came
number
out.
one for 7 weeks.
Yeah,
And the
it.
accolades, I couldn't even list them. It was a juggernaut of his song, really.
Well, yeah, it was number one in the UK singles as well, along with 20 other countries. So it definitely made it around the globe. It's about breakups and what's going on. Thank you for that experience. Next, who's
Yeah.
next on the list? Breakups including to fiance Pete Davidson.
Yeah, the inspiration, Pete Davidson, that lady's amazing.
God, man almighty, the trim that guy's seen.
And why? It's just weird.
Right. Yep. Well, there's rumors as to why.
Oh, okay. I've never heard that before.
Very large feet, evidently. But I love the video because it's an homage to Bring It On, Legally
Yep.
Blonde, Mean
Yep.
Girls, and 13 Going on 30.
That's right.
So movies that I all loved. So
And there's some cameos in there too.
the one I could do without our
Which
videographer in the crowd.
Who was that?
Um,
I don't remember.
Kris
Kris
Jenner.
Jenner. Yeah, Kris Jenner.
Yeah.
It also led to, so this song's from 2018. So in case,
Yep.
you're like us and you're not really kind of under a rock with this stuff.
Yep.
November 3rd of 2018. Interesting. Several of these songs came out like in November too, which I thought was cool
Yep.
since we're doing that. But it also led to several catchphrases and memes, as you would maybe expect in our viral times. It's celebrating failed marriages. And this is the one I was referring to earlier where Dido, she was talking about a boyfriend that she wasn't really thanking him after a breakup. She was with him, but still they broke up eventually, I think. So that's just kind of what it maybe reminded me of. And it's one of the 100 songs that define the 2010s by Rolling Stone magazine.
All right, then.
And I was going to write down some more, charts, but it's just so many. It's like really, this was a giant, giant song that neither of us have probably ever heard before.
No, not as big for say 42-year-old dudes,
Right.
white dudes.
Although usually I'm pretty up on that stuff. So
you
this
are,
one, no.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. Well, the next one is not got the word "thank you" in the title, but this is one that kind of a blast from the past. Before we listen to this, Gifford, did you know this song? Do you remember it?
No clue.
Really? Okay, because this was
Nope.
a minor hit when we were like in college, and I actually got this CD. Like I liked the song that much at first. I don't know if I ever listened to it more than once. It was the only song I liked, and I didn't have it for long. But this is "Whoever You Are" by Geggy Ta.
All I wanna do is to thank you, even though I don't know who you are. You let me change lanes while I was driving in my car. All I wanna do is to thank you, even though I don't know who you are. You let me change lanes while I was driving in my car. Whoever you are, I wanna thank you, whoever you are.
And that's pretty much the whole song right there.
Yep.
But it's so catchy, and I love the breakdown there when the instruments come in. I loved that song. So this was the number 67 alternative song of 1996. So that's why I thought maybe you'd remember it, because I'm sure you heard it back then. It was,
and I probably did, but it's a fun little funky song. It reminds me a little bit of like something that Arrested Development would put out.
Yeah.
Just kind of goofy and strange, and a lot of almost talking through.
And it's so simple,
the lyrics.
But you can relate to the lyrics. Like you give a thank you wave in the car, and you really do appreciate when somebody lets you change lanes. I mean, I love that.
Yes.
The name Geggy Ta, I always thought like they were from India because it gives kind of that sound too, in the name. But it was actually, I believe they were from LA. I actually didn't write that down. But the name came from the two guys, their younger sisters' mispronunciations of their names.
Okay.
And that's where they got their name from. It was also in a pretty famous Mercedes commercial back then, which is another place where a lot of people would have heard it.
Okay.
It's just a total, for me, it's a total slice of nostalgia. Song I kind of forgot all about. And I just thought it was fun to go rediscover it. And it's all about thanks.
Right. And the video is a lot of fun.
Oh, I didn't watch the video. I don't remember. What's that like?
They're in their car,
Of
and
course.
it's pretty much like, a drive uh, safety video. There's like almost like DMV like animations that are in it, showing you how to change lanes properly and what not to do in a car. Like, you're not supposed to smoke in a car in case ash falls on your leg and you freak out and you crash.
Mhm.
And a very nice anti-road rage message with the thank you wave in there, which is great. Yet, because they're busy playing all their instruments while they're driving, it's very much seems like a distracted driving video as
Yes.
well. But catchy little tune, and glad it was included.
Okay, good. I'm glad to hear you say that, because I'll warn you too. If you forgot the song and you go listen to it, it takes about a minute for the song to actually kick
Yes.
in. So at first you're like, "Oh my god, what is going on here? Nothing is happening." But then it kicks in and it gets
Mhm.
good.
Yeah.
All right, the next one is a very, very famous band. This is from May of 1978. Thank You for the Music by ABBA.
So I say thank you for the music, the songs I'm singing. Thanks for all the joy they're bringing. Who can live without it? I ask in all honesty. What will I be without a song?
So that song, you think of a lot of their big hits, and it is on their
Mhm.
greatest hits, but it did not chart here at all. And really, the place where this song was the biggest was just in South Africa. It reached number
Yes.
2 there, but didn't chart here, and so it's not probably as big or well known as Dancing Queen or Mamma Mia or a lot of the other songs.
Right. Yep. And this was one I was not familiar with, but
Oh, really?
it comes on, and I mean, that's ABBA. I mean, good Lord, it's the same song, same sound, I should say, as so many of their other ones. So
I'm more familiar with it because my daughter is obsessed with the Mamma Mia movies, and so
okay.
I've seen both of them many times because they're great. Like, have you seen those movies?
No, I have not. No.
They are great. Like, you will just be entertained and have fun for 2 hours if you watch them. And the
Okay.
music is amazing. Like, ABBA's music was absolutely awesome, and that's all it is. This is not my favorite ABBA song. Like, it sounds more like a song that was written for a musical
Mhm.
instead of a hit song that they put into a musical. It doesn't sound like something you would really hear on the radio as much. It sounded more like a farewell song, kind of the end of the band, like, "Hey, we're breaking up. This is it." Um, and that makes sense. But it's okay. Like, in the part I played, like the chorus is fairly nice, but it's not my favorite, that's for sure.
Yeah. To me, it sounded a bit pretentious, maybe, or
Ah,
braggadocious of their talents.
now we got that word. We
Um,
got to use it.
yes. So it's like basically singing about how they enter the world and how people know who they are. It's because of the music. So I mean, it's a nice sentiment because thank you for the music. I mean, music is life for these people. But it also is a little braggadocious in
Yeah,
parts of that.
part of it is that I don't love like the lyrics, so it's whatever. But it's a
Yep.
good song and it fits for our playlist.
It certainly does.
Now the next one I know you know and I
Oh,
know you like because
oh,
we came from the country and this is John Denver.
I'd play Sally Gooden all day if I could, but the Lord and my wife wouldn't think it very good. So I fiddle when I can and I work when I should. Thank God I'm a country boy. Well, I got me a fine life. I got the old fiddle when the sun's coming up. I got cakes on the griddle. Life ain't nothing but a funny riddle. Thank God I'm a country boy.
yes,
All right. I'll let you go first because you're even more of the country boy and you love John Denver. So do I. But
love that you included this
well,
on.
you gotta conclude this song.
I
Come on.
I didn't think of it just off the top of my head, so it's awesome. This was released in '75, but it was recorded live for the Back Home Again album, August 26th of '74. The live version hit number 1 on the Hot Country and Hot 100, and in Canada. This was written by John Summers from Denver's backup band in a time of his life when things were just going great for him. He was the mandolin player, the fiddle player, banjo player for John Denver, and just absolutely love this song. The one thing I don't like about it is when I hear the song, I see Pauly Shore in Son-in-Law, him trying to drive the combine, and those two things in my mind are connected now. But I just absolutely love this song.
Yeah, I don't have much to add. It hit number one on both charts for 1 week each.
Yep.
It's just a great, fun song that everybody knows, whether you're from the country or not. It's got great lyrics, and it's just one of the more, I think, sing-alongable songs like ever. Like and you can just tap your toe, of course, too.
Yep.
But even though it's like hardcore country fiddling, like I don't know why anybody that wouldn't like it. Like even if you don't like that music, how can you not like that song? It's going to reach you, I think.
Yeah, it's got the sing-along quality to it, so
Right.
you're gonna enjoy it.
All right, the next one I know you probably didn't know, but we did cover this band about exactly 1 year ago when we did our 1996 album bracket. So you are a little bit familiar with Wilco, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Simply because of that episode.
Right. So this is Wilco, The Thanks I Get.
Tell the thanks I get for loving you. Tell the thanks I get for telling you the truth.
I love this song. I think this song is awesome. This is another very fun song. So Wilco, they got a lot of different sounds, and sometimes they can be a little slower or a little more, darker, sad sounding. This is one of their upbeat, fun songs. I think it's great. It's about a struggling relationship, but it's got a positive message too. It's about, looking ahead, and then I'm going to play another little part here because they repeat this over and over. It's about making it better.
We can make it better. Oh, we can make it better. Oh, we can make it better. Oh, we can make it better.
So you get to the end and you get that nice little part there. And the only other thing I have on this one is that this was another one like Geggy Taw that was famous as well. For people that don't know Wilco as much, they might know the song because it was in a big Volkswagen commercial.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Well,
What did you think of that? Did that
This
catch you?
was a bonus track on an album, so they just took it from like the recording sessions for, I believe the album was the Blue Sky album.
Yeah.
So yeah, to me it's a fun little upbeat song. I mean, if you listen to the lyrics, obviously they're in a little bit of a trouble in this relationship, but they're going to do what they can to make it work. And to me, this has a little bit of a Stone sound to it. Rolling Stones a little bit there. So
Sure.
yeah, I enjoyed it.
Good. I'm glad you liked that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one too. I'm, fairly big fan of Wilco, at least their first kind of 10 years or so. I don't really know much of them since then. But this is kind of one that came out kind of right at the end of when I kind of stopped listening to new stuff by them.
Okay.
But so I've known it for a long time, and I do love that song. All right, we got 2 left. The next one is a song that I always kind of avoided because I always kind of said I didn't like this band. But damn it, if maybe I don't like the song after all. This is Thanks for the Memories by Fall Out Boy.
And I want these words to make things right, but it's the wrongs that make the words come to life. Who does he think he is? If that's the worst you got, better put your fingers back to the key. One more time. Thanks for the memories, even though they weren't so bad. It tastes like you, sweeter.
So yeah, I mean, I don't know. You kind of bop your head, right? I'm guessing you like that one, Gifford. Do you?
Well, and that one was a little familiar to me.
Oh
so
yeah, maybe you knew it already too.
Yeah, I had heard that one before. So when it came on, like when I put it in, it wasn't like, oh yeah, I know this Fall Out Boy song. But once you start listening, it's like, oh yeah, I do know this song. So yeah, it's fun. Like you say, you bop your head to it a little bit there. This one came out March 27th of 2007 off their third album, Infinity on High. This was one of the songs produced by Babyface on the album. I think it was one of 2. Hit number 11 on the Hot 100 and 2 times platinum in the US by 2009. So kind of a big deal.
Yeah, that was a pretty big song. That's why I knew it. I was
Mhm.
never a fan of the band Fall Out Boy. Them and like there's My Chemical Romance, Panic at the Disco. They all sounded the same to me, and a lot of them had these long, crazy titles to songs. Which this is something I learned that made me kind of like it more. So this song, if you look at the title, it's Thanks for the Memories, but there aren't any vowels.
Right.
And the reason they did that is because like the studio or the label had told them they were sick of some of their long song titles. They didn't like that, so they shortened it
Yeah.
by taking out all the vowels, which I think is kind of funny.
Yes. Mhm.
Because I thought it was more just like using like text speak like kids would do, which I didn't like that. But now that I learned the real reason, it makes me like it more.
Yes, it's
Um,
disemboweled is the term for that.
Disemboweled.
Yes.
So I'm not a big fan of this band, but I do think that's a catchy song, and adding it to the playlist did not bother me. So,
Mhm. Yeah,
all
good
right,
choice.
we only have one left, and if you've been waiting for this one, maybe, although I didn't think of this one right away until I actually looked stuff up, but I saved it for the end because I thought it was a good one.
Yes.
Thank you for being a friend. Travel down the road and back again. Your heart is true. You're a pal and a confidant. If you threw a party.
All right, so we'll cut it off there. So that's Thank You for Being a Friend. Now, I debated on should I play the Andrew Gold version, which is the original version of the song, which was a hit,
Mhm.
a number 25 hit in 1978.
Yep.
Or should I go with the Cynthia Fee cover for the Golden Girls, which is the one we all know and love? And I decided to go with that one because that's the one that we love.
Well, yeah.
So it's iconic.
Everybody
It's an
knows that
iconic
version.
song. It's a great theme song. We talked about it a lot with our friends, Children of the 80s, on their theme song bracket. It went a long ways. And I just thought it was a really nice way to close out our playlist here.
Yeah, and aptly on the playlist. I mean, again, not one that I thought of when you said you were putting this together, but glad to see it included. And I think it's in a great spot there at the end.
Yeah. All right. Did you I didn't think to ask you this ahead of time, but I'm wondering,
Yeah.
did you think of any other songs that I didn't include that we should have had on here, or that came to your mind and you wondering if I was going to include them with thanks in it?
No, as I was putting this list together, because I, put my own list together on Spotify off of this, and just putting, and I was thinking of that while I was doing it, and then listening to songs. It's like, is there something he missed here? Not that I, really put in a lot of, hard work on it and, break a sweat trying to figure it out, but I didn't think so. Nothing really sprang to mind for me.
I do have. I'm just checking here. I forgot because I do have my original list that I found that was 19 songs long. So I will share
let's hear it.
the other ones that I had found that I was just writing everything down at first. And so Taylor Swift had a song on not her new album, but the previous one called "Thank You, Amy," which is like a shot at Kim Kardashian.
Oh,
So I don't think it's really much thanks, and it's not my
wow.
favorite. Most things always said you should use the Natalie Merchant song "Kind and Generous" because it's about being thankful for somebody. Like, thank you for being a friend. The Louis Armstrong song "What a Wonderful World" I thought is interesting. I wouldn't really include it, but it does talk about. I mean, it doesn't say thank you though. It didn't quite fit.
Right.
If we were going to go the route of adding some of these other songs, I would have included Bette Midler just to get a reaction because I'm not a fan of "Wind Beneath My Wings," but it would have fit if we wanted to go that route.
Sure.
Along the same lines, we could have included Queen's "You're My Best Friend."
Oh, yeah.
But I just thought it was better to stick with "Thank You for Being a Friend" there. And then there were two albums that don't really have a song, but they popped up in my own list. So Stone Temple Pilots, their like greatest hits is called "Thank You." So I was looking through that.
All right.
And there really wasn't a great song to pick, but it came from that. And then a band that I just saw last week live with my daughter, Cage the Elephant, they have an album called "Thank You, Happy Birthday." And so I was looking to see if I could find a song off of that, but they didn't really fit either. So those are all the other things that came to my mind or that I found that were considered. And I think I pared it down to the right 12, personally.
I think you did well with it. Yes. Congratulations on putting that together. Should be proud of your selections.
And thank you all for the music that you gave us, ABBA and everybody else.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that was fun. Did you enjoy that, Giff?
I did. I'm thankful that I did not miss our recording of this episode. So it was a lot of fun.
Now, we should probably throw out that you might be worried right now that where's the draft? I mean, hopefully you're like, this is Pop Culture Yearbook. There should be a draft. We decided not to go with one tonight because we had a little extra memories. And we're saving our next 2 drafts are going to be really good. So next week, you want to tell them what we're going to do next week?
So the next 2 weeks, we are going to be TV centric with our episodes. So we are going to be covering famous Thanksgiving episodes on our favorite sitcoms. So next week, we're going to be covering How I Met Your Mother, Slapsgiving, and Slapsgiving 2.
Revenge of the Slap.
Revenge of the Slap. And then after that one, because How I Met Your Mother always had so many great Thanksgiving
And I didn't
episodes.
realize there's actually a Slapsgiving 3 too.
There is.
But we're just going to stick to the first 2, kind of the more famous ones. And
I think the season before, because Slapsgiving comes out season 3, I think the season before, over that area of time around Thanksgiving, was the original Slap. I think in the show, like that sets this whole thing off.
Kind of led to the whole thing.
Yeah. So they've got a lot, and so at the end of that episode, we are going to do a draft of the greatest NFL moments on Thanksgiving Day.
Yeah, I like that.
So,
now, you had a hard time, you said, with that.
But nope, got it put together though.
But you got it, and you had to look some stuff up. I had so many memories in my head, and it turned out I had to look some up to get a full list for this, but there's so many big games and things that I remember that I just thought that was going to be fun to do. So it's going to be a good one. I'm sure you found some good stuff.
And moments. It's not necessarily like you have. I found a lot of situations where there's the game itself is kind of like, ugh.
Right.
But there was massive moments.
Yep.
Yes, on Thanksgiving.
All right, and then the next week we're going to cover 2 different shows, but this all kind of came together with the TV show idea because I remember again. So my memories tonight. In 1986, we had all our family, my Des Moines family, and everybody at our house on the farm, and I remember watching the Cheers episode where they have a big food fight and all the friends go to Carla's for Thanksgiving. And that is just a classic Cheers episode. So we're going to go rewatch that. And then you got to include a Friends episode because they're so famous. So we're going to do the one where Ross got high, which is maybe Gifford's and mine, a top 3 episode, at least for sure. If not number 1. So that's going to be fun. And then we're going to get into the really good draft because that night we're going to draft in honor maybe of Rachel's trifle. We're going to draft the best Thanksgiving foods.
Oh, baby.
And that was not a hard list to make. You think 15 or so, that's a lot, but no, it's not hard.
No, it's not hard at all. No. So, yeah, that's going to be good stuff.
And we're going to close out. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. Then we'll close out the month. The week of Thanksgiving, we'll be releasing. Amazingly, like Brad said, we've been doing this for 5 seasons, and we've never covered planes, trains, and automobiles.
That wrong ends this week, this month.
We're gonna write that wrong, and we are gonna cover at the end of the month planes, trains, and automobiles. We have not set a draft yet for that one. We will brainstorm, put our heads together, and we will come up with something amazing.
So the drafts will be back in full force next week. But
yes, absolutely.
Hopefully this one was good without it.
I think it was. Yeah. So, but hey, Brad.
Oh, hey, what?
Do you know what other band loves the Mamma Mia movies?
Well, that would have to be Preacher Row.
Yes. Yeah. They love them, and not in a pretentious way.
No, I let 3 times pretentious. You really complete me.
Yes,
well, here they are. We're thankful for you, our listeners.
Yes. Thank you for listening.
Hope you enjoy this month.
Later.
Bye.